Welcome to today's news. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Here are the latest trending news stories from across the globe. Let's dive into today's top headlines. President Trump said he wants to deport American criminals to foreign prisons. Biden returned to public stage and spoke out to defend Social Security. AP reporters were blocked from Oval Office even after court order. Obama praised Harvard for rejecting Trump's demands after funding freeze. NYC lawmakers sued Mayor Eric Adams over ICE office plan at Rikers Island. American Airlines to give free Wi-Fi to loyal flyers from January 2026. Governor Hochul marks big progress on water projects in Mount Vernon. China stopped accepting Boeing jets as trade war with US grows. Four Russian journalists sentenced to prison for ties to Navalny's group. Israel offered new ceasefire plan to Hamas through mediators Egypt and Qatar. Messi's dream of a 2026 World Cup continues, reveals Suarez. And Luka Modric becomes co-owner of Swansea City Football Club. You were listening to Headlines Now News in detail. President Trump said he would love to send American-born criminals to foreign prisons, even though legal experts raised serious concerns. Trump said his administration is looking into ways to send violent U.S. citizens to jails outside the country. He gave examples like subway attacks and baseball bat assaults and said, "We want to do it." Trump praised El Salvador President Nayib Bukele and his prison system, including the Terrorism Confinement Center. He called El Salvador very safe and said the U.S. is now using Bukele's model to remove criminals allowed in by Biden. In March, the Trump administration deported 238 men, mostly Venezuelans, under the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. Most had no criminal record. Last week, the Supreme Court said the administration must give due process to gang suspects before deportation. Trump also said Attorney General Pam Bondi is reviewing if homegrown U.S. citizens can be deported. Experts warned this may break the Constitution. One case involved a protected man wrongly deported, but El Salvador refused to return him. Trump said if it becomes legal, they will move forward. Former President Joe Biden gave his first public speech since leaving office at a Social Security conference in Chicago. He spoke at the Advocates, Counselors, and Representatives for the Disabled event, where he delivered a keynote speech about protecting Social Security. The program gives monthly payments to nearly 1 in 5 Americans. Biden, 82 years old, stayed mostly quiet after leaving office on January 20. His return came as Democrats tried to regroup after big losses in the 2024 election. President Trump, who returned to office 3 months ago, continued to strongly criticize Biden. Former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, who led the Social Security Administration under Biden, also spoke at the event. He said it was an honor that Biden chose the 2025 ACRT conference to speak and warned that recent progress could be lost. Democratic leaders warned of growing threats to Social Security, especially after recent budget cuts by Trump's Department of Government Efficiency. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries held a news event saying Trump, Elon Musk, and House Republicans are damaging Social Security and hurting working Americans. The Associated Press said its reporters were blocked from an Oval Office event with President Trump and Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele, even though a federal judge had ordered the White House to restore AP's press access. The AP stated that its journalists were kept out of the Oval Office and also denied access to a South Lawn event honoring Ohio State University's football team. While 2 AP photographers were allowed, a reporter was not. Last week, Judge Trevor McFadden ruled the White House could not block AP access just because the AP refused to change Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America in its style book. The court said the AP had to be treated equally with other media outlets. The White House has appealed the ruling. A 3-judge panel will decide on April 17, 2025, whether to pause the decision during the appeal. Trump signed an order in January to rename the Gulf, but the AP said it would not change its global standards. The White House has not commented. Former President Barack Obama praised Harvard University for standing up to President Trump's administration after it froze more than $2.2 billion in federal funding. The freeze followed Harvard's rejection of a list of demands from the White House. Obama said Harvard gave an example for other universities by refusing what he called an unlawful and ham-handed effort to limit academic freedom. He posted on X that Harvard is taking real steps to ensure a respectful and thoughtful learning environment. He hoped other schools would do the same. The Trump administration earlier demanded that Harvard follow new rules from the Joint Task Force to combat anti-Semitism. This included punishing student protesters, removing pro-Palestinian groups, and shutting down diversity and inclusion programs. But Harvard President Alan M. Gerber said those demands went beyond government power. Harvard decided not to follow them. Soon after, the Education Department responded by warning that universities must make changes if they want public funding. While Harvard pushed back, other schools like Columbia University have accepted Trump's terms to avoid more pressure. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. New York City lawmakers sued Mayor Eric Adams over his approval of a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement office on Rikers Island. They said the move broke legal rules and claimed it was part of a deal with President Trump to help Adams in his now dismissed federal bribery case. The lawsuit filed in Manhattan's state Supreme Court asked a judge to stop the ICE office from opening. Lawmakers argued the decision skipped required procedures and violated Adams' duty to New Yorkers. Council Speaker Adrian Adams said the ICE plan was a favor Adams gave Trump in return for the dropped charges on April 3rd. City Hall said the office is needed for criminal immigration enforcement. They said the mayor gave full authority to First Deputy Mayor Randy Mastro, who signed the executive order. Some officials, including a former U.S. attorney who resigned, believed the case dismissal looked like a bargain. Mayor Adams has denied making any deal. The case could impact this year's mayoral election, where Adrian Adams is running against Eric Adams and focusing on his ties to Trump. American Airlines will start offering free Wi-Fi to its Advantage loyalty program members from January 2026. The airline announced that it will provide the service on about 90% of its fleet, including 500 regional aircraft, through a new partnership with AT&T. This new perk will cover nearly 2 million flights each year. American said the service has already passed performance tests and trial runs will happen on some routes ahead of the launch. Right now, American offers Wi-Fi on some flights, but passengers have to pay. The cost starts at $10 according to the airline's website. The move follows a similar step by United Airlines, which announced free Wi-Fi for Mileage Plus members in 2024 using Starlink. America's Chief Customer Officer Heather Gerberding said passengers want to stay connected during flights for work, social media, or streaming. AT&T also noted that people expect to be connected everywhere. This free Wi-Fi service will be available only to Advantage members, and American is working to improve Wi-Fi speed and reliability before 2026. Governor Kathy Hochul celebrated key progress in fixing Mount Vernon's long-standing water problems. The Third Street Sewer Project and a Healthy Homes pilot program were already completed with help from the state's $150 million investment, first announced in April 2022. These upgrades aim to solve old issues like flooding, sewage backups, and unsafe pipes. The new sewer system includes a pumping station, 400 feet of new pipes, and an emergency generator to serve nearby homes. In total, 24 low to moderate income homes joined the Healthy Homes program, which helped protect them from wastewater problems. Work to remove lead water pipes and improve wastewater systems is now underway and will continue for the next 5 to 7 years. Hochul said the effort is an example of how local, state, and federal governments can work together. City, county, and state leaders praised the results, saying the investment is restoring trust and improving life for Mount Vernon residents. More improvements are coming soon. Now it's time for global updates. China ordered its airlines to stop taking deliveries of Boeing jets as the trade fight with the US became more serious. The Chinese government also told airlines to stop buying airplane parts and other components from US companies. Boeing did not comment on the situation. Its stock price dropped 2.59 or 1.6% to 156.74 in early trading. This move came after China raised tariffs on US goods to 125%, matching President Trump's tariffs on Chinese imports. Some products now face tariffs as high as 145%. Bloomberg said the increased tariffs made American-made planes and parts too expensive for Chinese buyers. Boeing had planned to send around 10 737 MAX jets to Chinese airlines, including China Southern, Air China, and Xiamen Airlines. In the first quarter of this year, Boeing delivered 130 planes, over 100 of which were 737s. President Trump responded in a Truth Social post saying China just reneged on the Boeing deal and will not accept aircraft they already committed to. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. A Russian court sentenced 4 journalists to 5.5 years in prison for working with the group founded by late opposition leader Alexei Navalny. The journalists Antonina Feverskaya, Konstantin Gebov, Sergei Karelin and Artyom Krieger were found guilty of involvement with an extremist group. All of them denied the charges, saying they were punished for doing their job. Feverskaya and Krieger worked for Sotavision. Gebov had produced for Reuters. Karelin worked with media like the Associated Press. They were linked to Navalny's Foundation for Fighting Corruption, banned in 2021. Navalny died in February 2024 while in prison. Before the verdict, Feverskaya said she was charged for covering abuse Navalny faced and for helping with his funeral. Gebov said the accusations were baseless. Karelin said he only did street interviews. Krieger said he was jailed for being an honest journalist. Supporters clapped as the journalists left court. Rights group Memorial called them political prisoners. Many others connected to Navalny have also faced charges, including lawyers and his wife, Yulia Navalny. Egypt and Qatar delivered a new Israeli ceasefire proposal to Hamas. A senior Hamas official told AFP that the group would likely respond within 48 hours. However, Hamas repeated that any deal must end Israel's military offensive in Gaza and include a full Israeli withdrawal from the Strip. Hamas official Sami Abu Zuhri said the proposal failed to meet key demands. He rejected Israel's new call to disarm Hamas in future talks, calling it a million red lines that are not open to discussion. The United Nations expressed concern after Israeli forces struck Al-Ahli Arab Hospital in Gaza. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said medical staff and hospitals must be protected under international law. In another move, the Maldives announced a ban on Israeli citizens entering the country. President Mohamed Musa signed the ban after Parliament approved it. A spokesperson said it took effect immediately as a show of support for Palestinians. More responses from global leaders are expected. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Lionel Messi's desire to play in the 2026 FIFA World Cup is very much alive. Inter Miami teammate Luis Suarez recently shared that while Messi often jokes about retirement, he remains determined to represent Argentina one last time on the world stage. At 37, Messi has already achieved extraordinary success, including 8 Ballon d'Ors and a World Cup win in 2022. Despite these accomplishments, his competitive spirit is still strong. Since joining Inter Miami in 2023, Messi has scored 8 goals in 10 games, helping the club reach its first ever CONCACAF Champions Cup semi-final. Suarez, 38 years old, spoke about his own uncertain international future, but acknowledged that both he and Messi are considering the possibility of one final international appearance together. Messi's commitment to the 2026 World Cup is clear, especially as Argentina has already qualified. If Messi does return for the tournament, it will be an unforgettable chapter in his legendary career. Luka Modric, the 39-year-old Real Madrid and Croatia midfielder, has joined Swansea City as a co-owner and investor, the championship club announced. Modric, who has played for Real Madrid for 13 seasons, helped the club with 6 Champions League titles. He previously played for Tottenham Hotspur. While Swansea did not disclose the exact amount of Modric's investment, the Croatian midfielder expressed excitement about his new role. Modric said he wanted to use his experience to help Swansea grow and compete at the highest level, noting the club's strong identity and passionate fan base. Modric's immediate focus remains on Real Madrid's Champions League quarter-final against Arsenal, where his team is trailing 3-0. His contract at Real Madrid is set to expire at the end of the current season. Swansea CEO Tom Grange welcomed Modric, calling him calling him an excellent role model for players at all levels. Swansea is currently 12th in the championship standings. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 18,430.04. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 2.21 points or 0.01%. Tokyo stock close price is 34,267.54. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 285.18 points or 0.84%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,267.66. The Shanghai index is increased by 4.85 points or 0.15%. Hong Kong stock close price is 21,466.27. The Hang Seng index is increased by 48.87 points or 0.23%. Bombay stock close price is 76,734.89. The Sensex index is increased by 1,577.63 points or 2.10%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. President Trump said he wants to deport American criminals to foreign prisons. Biden returned to public stage and spoke out to defend Social Security. AP reporters were blocked from Oval Office even after court order. Obama praised Harvard for rejecting Trump's demands after funding freeze. NYC lawmakers sued Mayor Eric Adams over ICE office plan at Rikers Island. American Airlines to give free Wi-Fi to loyal flyers from January 2026. Governor Hochul marks big progress on water projects in Mount Vernon. China stopped accepting Boeing jets as trade war with US grows. Four Russian journalists sentenced to prison for ties to Navalny's group. Israel offered new ceasefire plan to Hamas through mediators Egypt and Qatar. Messi's dream of a 2026 World Cup continues, reveals Suarez. And Luka Modric becomes co-owner of Swansea City Football Club. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all smart TVs and Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.